Good morning, folks on the West Coast, afternoon on the East Coast. Another edition of No BS TED. It's Tuesday. I'm here with Ryan from No BS Sports. He's the No BS part, I'm the TED part, and together we make No BS TED, coming at you every Tuesday at 11:30 Pacific.
What's got you stuttering? What's got you stuttering, Ted?
I was just playing around.
No, you're good. I felt
messing.
Just joshing.
Just joshing, yeah. So, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
We got ourselves the first scuffle of training camp. Rookie Jarrett Kingston and Ty McGill got into it.
T.Y. McGill, the defensive tackle.
Yeah, and Jarrett Kingston, who is the center.
Well, center guard, something interior. Played some tackle, but just like Pooney.
This time of the year, he's probably playing a lot of guard or tackle.
Just like Pooney, Kingston's arm length is too puny to be considered to be an NFL tackle. So, interesting. So kind of some backups. Definitely neither projected to be a starter in any fashion. T.Y. McGill, I think we got him off the Vikings practice squad a while back after we had a joint practice with them that summer out there in Minnesota a couple years back, if I recall correctly.
I think you are correct.
Their D-line messed us up pretty good in those practices, and he was part of that action. So we're like, hey, well, let's grab that guy since he's not under contract. And he's done well for a, bubble fringe type player. He's gotten some action and done pretty well.
And Jarrett Kingston's a rookie, and he's not scared to stand up for himself, it looks like. So, I like it.
Throwing dogs.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, good. It's always at least one scuffle during camp. Last year it was Ayuk and Fred Warner that started it out, because Fred was kind of tackling a little bit too seriously, and I think
Fred is always doing something to try and piss the offense off.
Yeah, it really worked last year, that's for sure.
He gets them all ready for the season. He shit talks them to they're ready for the season. And in the game, people are talking shit, and they're like, "Bro, we've already been pushed to the brink in training camp with Fred. You ain't nothing new. We're just gonna be in our own head and handle our business."
There you go. Let's say hi to the chat. We got a few folks checking in early here. We got Jimmy in the house. Got
Jimmy.
Got Bebop coming to us from Bethlehem, PA, saying go Niners. Also, go USA Soccer.
What up, Bebop? Yes.
I'm actually a pretty big soccer fan for most people here in the U.S. When I went to Santa Clara University, I transferred in with a guy who was transferring in from Harvard to play on the Santa Clara team because Harvard didn't give financial aid to their, at least not to their soccer players anyway. And he got a full ride at Santa Clara, and he introduced me to all the soccer guys, and a lot of them are still good friends. One of them was a groomsman in my wedding, and we're all still good friends to this day. Great guys. So yeah, go USA Soccer.
Bebop, also check out the rugby, the sevens. I think you'll really like that. Anybody who likes football likes when the running back breaks it free and runs down the sideline, or a wide receiver even breaks it free and runs down the sideline. That's what rugby sevens is, with no pads, and it's physical, except it's not like, it's different than football, obviously, but you'll draw comparisons. You'll be like, oh hey.
There you go.
Yeah. In fact, the drop kick that Doug Flutie did that's a rugby play. When you get close enough, you could do a drop kick to score instead of having to go for a try.
Interesting.
So I'm telling you.
There you go.
He was watching the female rugby this morning. Okay. You seen that New Zealand chick? And I think her picture's been going around, but what else? The French The French got a lady that just ran all over us. She just a beast. So check out that rugby sevens.
There you go. Before I move on from the soccer comment, I was just going to say the problem that soccer has here in the States is that all the top athletes here in the U.S., they go play football, they go play basketball, they go play baseball, where all the money is here. And not a lot of them go play soccer. Now, granted, there are all the international leagues and everything like that. But so far, the U.S. really hasn't shown its prowess in soccer the way it could or should someday. We'll see. So Bebop saying US. I think it's because even though there's international leagues, I don't think they have a lot of scouts here to identify the early talent the way the football, baseball, and basketball scouts do, and corral those kids in those directions for the U.S. Leagues.
I also do feel like football wouldn't necessarily take away from soccer, because I think you kind of need a different body type is more sought after. You know what I mean? Like in soccer, it kind of helps to be kind of on the smaller side and fast, right? And nimble and quick and all that. So in football, we like the tall guys, you know. Basketball, they like the tall, lanky guys. I think rugby would be more of a pull from football, would be more of a pull from rugby, because you kind of are the same type of people who are looking for the same type of thing. They want contact, they want physical, you know, they want it to be physical. They're running down the field. I don't know.
I hear you.
But I think it's totally true what you said. There's not a network to find anybody, because it's just not a draw. It's just not. And I think that's why you saw it with Beckham and now Messi. They're willing to give everything just to get some of these big stars over here, because that's who's going to draw the fans to bring up. Once Americans realize they like something, they want to be number one in it. The moment they realize it. That's kind of why I'm like, hey, check out rugby. Check out rugby. We could be number one in rugby real easy, guys. Real easy. I'm telling you, it'd probably only take us a couple Olympics and we could be dominant, just like Fiji, New Zealand, South Africa. I mean, we could be one of those clubs. We just have to realize that we could be good at it, and we'll just want to naturally be number one at it.
There you go. Got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights in the house. Happy Tuesday.
What up, Daniel Berry?
He's a Ram fan. He's pretty cool. He has his own channel too, so check out his channel.
Damn, I was searching the other day. I was on the shorts, and there was a live stream going, and I clicked on it, and guess who was in the chat? It was Daniel Berry. He's all over the place. Shout out to him. He's giving likes and shout outs to everybody. Good for him. He's
giving us a Go USA too.
That's right.
Bebop says we need our O-line to step up. Hard to do that without Trent Williams, that's for sure. Got to get that man paid. Quit messing around, Johnny Lynch. You made this contract so we had outs, but you gave outs to Trent Williams at the same time. So you got to sword cuts both ways, turns out. So I take your lumps and move on.
I feel this deal is kind of already done. Imagine you got the deal where it's like, hey, you just want to be the highest paid again? Yep. You want some money, guaranteed money going, okay, this much? Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll have to wait to do that contract. And Trent's like, cool. Well, I'm going to have to wait to show up to training camp because I think they have to do Brandon Ayuk's deal before, because they throw more money out at other people. It weakens their hand of saying, oh, well, we can't pay everybody. It's like, bro, you just done paid everybody in front of me, and now you're gonna tell me you ain't got the fucking money? Like, bro, you could have paid me at the beginning of this when I was asking for less, and the next thing you know, the bar got reset, and now you're scrambling. Well, you saw the bar get reset, and how many people you signed after that. So I kind of think this is posturing. Like, they got one hand tied behind their back right here, and they can't get Trent Williams in camp and have him sign the deal that they probably, I swear, they probably already have this deal going. You know what I mean? This is probably the easiest one to do. I'm guessing, because I'm guessing he knows where he's at, and I'm guessing he knows what he wants. And the 49ers are like, yeah, we can swing that. You know what I mean? We're essentially like already planning to pay this already. We're just giving it to him in a guaranteed form, right? And then you're having to give him a pay increase. That could be part of his guaranteed. It could not be. You know, it depends on how he wants to go at it. Or, you know, is he just looking for guaranteed money? Because if he's looking for guaranteed money, they can extend him, give him the guaranteed money, give him the highest paid, but then he doesn't necessarily have to collect all that. It's just in the books, is that right? Because if it's not guaranteed, then he has to perform everything to get all that money, which he's worried about the guaranteed. So I think that's already set. I think they're just waiting for the Brandon Ayuk domino to fall, because they can't go, you're not worth 30 million when they're about ready to give Trent more money. And they're trying to save, you know, they're probably between a couple $1 million right now. So when you go ahead and give Trent all that couple $1 million, it's like, oh yeah, we're out of the money. No, you had it. You just spent it, bro. You just spent it.
I mean, anything's possible, I suppose. I just don't see why you would allow Trent to sit any longer than he has to. You definitely don't want him to have a Bosa or Debo like 2024, the way they did when they held out for too long, and then it impacted their season. And everybody says, oh, it's Trent Williams, he can just come late and whatever, but he needs those reps against Bosa to really get, to be his top self. You can practice all you want on the side, but till you go up against a world-class player opposite you, it's just not the same.
Bosa also needs those reps.
Yeah,
and
Bosa does.
It would be better now to find out that you're a little out of shape and maybe have a little injury and get back before the first game of the season than to come back right before the start of the season and week 1 or 2 not be in condition or something, have some kind of an injury, and then be out actual games. So that's something else too. Training camp gives you a chance and a window to kind of bust yourself because you weren't ready, and then still have time enough to make it before the start of the season. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Not that we want that happening, but this is kind of like you're getting to see, how ready you are, instead of, oh, live fire exercise, let's go.
No doubt about it. Got the one and only Red Jet Shell in the house.
What up, Red Jet?
Sure to like and subscribe to both channels. Yeah, we are streaming to both channels, so make sure you like and subscribe to both. If you got a browser open, just click 2 tabs. Watch us both at the same time. We really appreciate it.
Yep. Let me get my other browser up. I forgot. What a bad guy.
I was just doing it a second ago, so I was just a minute ahead of you. No worries. These things happen. We get busy with the show and forget to do all the technical stuff. What are you gonna do?
Well, I had to scramble to eat my lunch, get the show synced, and then check Twitter.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy workday to stream with me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I got a 2-hour lunch.
Good lunch break. Nice. So stories out of camp. So we just talked about Trent Williams holding out, Brandon Ayuk holding in. I think I saw yesterday Isaac Guerendo pulled his hammy.
He did that a while ago. That was the second day of training camp, or it might have been the first.
And then Monday, Ricky Pearsall,
24th, July 24th, he had Isaac Guerendo went down with a hamstring strain.
Okay, so that was before even I went last week. Okay, and
a big thing is Burford broke his hand.
Yeah, it didn't sound like it was that big. It sounded like he's only just going to miss a couple weeks, even if he gets surgery. So
I hadn't heard the thing today. We were going to hear more today, but to me, well, it's big, no matter when he comes back or not, because you're talking about his reps are going to somebody else, which means somebody else got a chance to shine. Yeah. This is why I'm saying this is big
I
news.
was Burford on the depth chart now. He's like, I mean, he's clearly behind Feliciano. Is he behind Pooney now
Well,
too?
Feliciano's out also with an injury. I can't remember what.
He had like the tendonitis or something, right?
Yeah,
Or no, that was Brendel. Man, our O line's starting to sound kind of banged up.
Brendel's got the tendonitis. He's good. They were just giving him it
Right.
sounded like it was like vet days. They were just doing preventative maintenance essentially by giving him the day off. Like, we got 2 centers this draft. We drafted one and we got one as an undrafted free agent. Those guys are gonna be, like I said, Ted Nugent. I said he was probably in there as center. He might have been because
something Nugent, not Ted Nugent though.
Yeah. Or not.
Mike,
Did I
Mike
say
Nugent? Mike?
Oh, I got the
I think it's Mike
Kingston. That's what I was talking about. Kingston was in the fight, but
we got Corona, Mr. David Corona from Corona, California.
David, did you get your channel set up?
Says,
I was spending time this weekend trying to get his thing. Did you get that all set up? Can you go live now, David? It's Drake Nugent.
Drake Nugent. And so you talked about, I said some big news. You said, but the really big news to me was Ricky Pearsall was back sort of at practice yesterday. I mean, he was in pads or whatever, but in uniform, but it didn't sound like he was taking part in team drills yet. But at least he's making strides towards being back to practice because, you know, if you're going to training camp, the biggest draw of training camp is to see the rookies, and the biggest rookie this year is Ricky Pearsall. And so if he's not there, that's less of an incentive, I would say, to go to training camp.
Maybe. We've also got Malik Mustafa that is starting to draw his own little buzz.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
heard somebody describe him as an Adonis, and
he's ripped for sure.
And now that more and more that he is an Adonis, I don't know. I don't care how that sounds to anybody, but it's probably the best fucking terms. That man is stacked. So he out there in the safety position, being all muscular like that and head hunty, that can make some people go from 6 to midnight. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think that might be a big thing, but Pearsall definitely, because that's where all the big money is. He was the first rounder. That's the big money. So,
big money.
But anybody who likes himself a little quality, you know, got a little culture to him, they're wanting him to see what's up with Malik, because that guy is. He might bring back some of them woo hits that Ronnie Lott used to bring to us.
I think Bernardo Green too has been mixing it up with John Jennings too. So glad to see that. Real quick, Jason, Captain Niner smash. Didn't smash, Matthew.
David, that applause is David Corona. That applause is also for you.
There you go. He sent to Love Faithful, which is hello faithful in Samoan. David's saying they want me to do shorts. Yeah, shorts are, you should do both, do long form and do shorts. Work really well for the ADD generation though. So I've been doing a lot for my bike stuff, and I'll circle back to that in a second. No, not yet. So I guess he's not quite ready yet. Hey, are you doing any days of camp? Yeah, I went last Thursday, and the first day, and I was going to go Friday. But instead, my buddy who I get my tickets with, my season ticket holder buddy, that helped me get a bunch of training camp tickets, was supposed to go Thursday, couldn't go, and luckily we were I was saying it that he couldn't go, and some guys in front of him were like, "Oh, well, my dad wants to go," and so we just sold him the ticket for face value for $10. Anywho. Then my buddy knew he couldn't go Friday, and I was like, that's okay. There's this group ride I wanted to do on Friday with this group that only goes on Fridays, and I hadn't gone with them in a while because I popped my calf about 6 weeks ago. It's still not quite 100%, to be honest. But anyway, bottom line is I went riding Friday, broke a spoke on my wheel. It's a second spoke on the drive side. And so my wheel, it's really time to replace this wheel. And I was like, I think I'm going to skip some training camp, sell some of these tickets, and get some money to get a new wheel for my electric mid-drive mountain bike. So that has gotten a little bit in the way of me going to camp. That's why we're able to stream today, Ryan and I, otherwise I would be there today. But I will be there tomorrow and next Wednesday for sure. And we'll see. I got a few tickets that I've been holding for somebody. And if they don't go, then either I might go or we'll see what happens.
You should go.
I'll probably go to some more days. Well, especially because, the guy whose code I used, we're splitting any proceeds that come from selling tickets. And it's like, so yeah, I only get half the money I get if I sell it. So probably better to just go and go see. And it helps obviously with this to have a more informed opinion about what's going on out there.
Oh yeah.
And everything. But anywho, bottom line is we'll see. But it's tough when you're on a tight budget and expenses pop up. Sometimes you got to take care of financial issues. But yeah, I'll see if I can go to besides more than just tomorrow and a week from tomorrow. The weekend I always knew was going to be an issue because that's when I'm on daddy duty. So probably not during the weekend, but maybe Friday the 2nd and maybe Tuesday the 6th as well would be the other dates. Red Jet saying, Little Birdie has been saying that Shell has a YT channel. I'm not creating content, just a space for the videos I've posted on IG. Cool. Well, post the link in here, Shell. We don't mind.
Yeah, is that where they can find that? What was that little project you made, that little gift to all us creators? I can't remember what you called it, but I was thinking about that the other day and I was like, I should figure out how to put that up and drop that link to everybody on my community tab so they can go check that out. So if you hit me up on Twitter, Red Jet, drop that link for me, I will get that.
Breaking news, Drake Jackson is hurt and his return is unknown. So hopefully he'll be all right. I guess it was this quad. That was one of the knocks on him coming out, was that he'd been injured. Some people said, oh, well, it's because at USC they kept telling him to gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, and they kind of gave him a break for it, but it does seem like he might be a little bit injury prone so far. Ryan's throwing stuff.
It's not computing.
He's got
I checked the numbers. I checked the numbers. This shit ain't computing.
Do you remember how to use one of those? I forgot completely how to use one of those things.
Yeah. Look. Well, I know how to do the lazy mans. Look, that's 10. So that's 10, 20, 24. I was teaching my daughter how to play Pass the Pigs.
No. They're bigger than that. They're like,
I don't know how to multiply with this thing.
Yeah, they're like bigger values.
I think the multiply one, that one's different. You got like just different numbers on the side. There's different sections. You got all that. So no, this is 1 to 100. I
use it really well. I've completely forgotten this since when I was a kid. So that's a long time since them days. Everybody's just saying hi.
Red Jet not on Twitter anymore?
She hasn't been on for a minute.
That's probably good.
It's been almost a year, I think.
I go back and forth, but figuring out whether I want to even attempt to try and like do stuff like we're going live on Twitter right now, but like as far as
how'd you do that? Did you pay for?
Yeah, I paid. I found out they had
$8 Ryan here paying for Twitter.
It was like $8. I got the medium one, but they got my Twitter Pro in there, so it's like TweetDeck is back.
$75 a year, man.
Their AI, the Grok, is really good with finding news because people tweet out a lot of news, and it's like I was getting like 3/4 of everything that was coming up was of the news that happened today. 3/4 of it was concurrent and was true, and there was one thing that was like it was a Brock Purdy to Danny Gray pass that supposedly people were talking about. I couldn't find anything about it. Supposedly there was a video, and the only video I could find on Twitter of that was like of a year ago. So there's certain kind of strays, but you might be able to. It's a lot of AI isn't good with current events. It's not, and it seems like the Twitter AI is pretty good with the current events. So it might be handy to content creators to actually utilize this for news more now, because I can have multiple tabs open at the same time, like searches. I can have them, like right now I can start over a whole thread and have it just start with whatever is said right now from here on. So if I wanted to watch the latest news come in, I could. Essentially, that's how I found the Sterling Bennett reported that earlier that the first fight in camp happened. I looked over there and it said 17 seconds. It happened 17 seconds before I said something to you.
Amazing. We got Swole Cole in the house. Says, "Sup guys, thoughts on Trent?" I think players are greedy with these new contracts. We kind of talked about it already, but Ryan, do you want to summarize your thoughts on Trent?
Trent or the situation with Trent?
The situation, the contract.
He's just trying to get that extra 10,000.
So 28 million and 10,000.
And 10,000.
Yeah, I think Swole, we're kind of cool with it just because he is the best offensive lineman. He should be paid as such. And the Niners kind of set themselves up for it. They give themselves outs in these contracts where they can get out of it if things aren't going well. But if things are going well, then they have to re-up. And that's the double-edged sword that is the 6-year deal that's really 2 3-year deals. At the end of 3 years, you can get out, but so can the player. And Trent's like, hey, I want out. I want more money. And it's fair for him to say. He's performed very well. And, it's hard for me sitting here on in my studio to begrudge someone who every time they take the field, they put their current and future well-being, not livelihood, but well-being, physical and mental well-being at risk. So, if they want to get every dollar that they deserve, then I can't begrudge them for that. You could call it greedy, you could call it ego, but, most of the best players do it. There's a few exceptions where people take a little bit less than market, but it's pretty rare. It's usually like a quarterback trying to put a good team around him. And even then, it was pretty much just Tom Brady who did that. So maybe Brock Purdy will too. A lot of people seem to think he might, but until he does, it's really only Tom Brady who's ever done that I can think of. So Red Jet says, "No Days Off" song.
That's what it is. No Days Off
by Dave Brubeck.
Yep.
Yeah, not on Twitter X anymore. I'll drop it here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, drop the link. Red Jet got a channel. What's up? It's Big Mike from the Man Cave. My former co-host on Thursdays for Faithful Dogs. But then he started working OT and couldn't make it work anymore. But maybe when we get closer to the season again, that'll work out. But always welcome to come back and stream with me anytime, Mike. It was a lot of fun. I always like to get the Cleveland Brown dog perspective. Ryan left Twitter in October. Oh, she left October of 2022. Okay, so it's been coming up on 2 years, then, year and a half. All right, year and 3/4.
Was that when Elon bought it, Shell? I can't remember when the time frame was, but
I think it may be coincidentally, but I don't think that's what it was. I mean, I don't want to speak for Shell, but as someone who knows her pretty well, it just felt like things were toxic on there for her. People were being shitty. Like, the way
too positive for that.
Some people live just to be shits.
Whoa.
And
some of that kind of runs in us, Ted. You can't. I'm sorry. I won't let you point the finger without putting myself a little bit in front of that finger too. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm with you. I definitely I've been trolly myself from time to time.
But
although I wouldn't say I'm off Twitter, but I'm definitely not on there much anymore. I'll say that.
Kind of how you got to survive. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it gets down out there.
Yeah.
You didn't know, then that's your fault.
Mike said, "What's up, Ted? What's up, Jet?" Said, "Players are ridiculous damn contracts, especially with the years left on the old one. I want to ask for more money, but there's years left, Mike. But there's no guaranteed money left, and that's what it comes down to. And so,
and he's the best left tackle. So
he's the best offensive lineman. And
yesterday, Terradome on his show, which he had, it was weird. He had a show on Monday. It was like, what? They're supposed to have these things on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Terradome, holy moly! But anyway, so he's doing a rare Monday show, and he was talking about how Brock Purdy, his first year, everybody's knocking Brock Purdy of always rolling left, and he was saying, you got Trent Williams to the left, right? And I'm like, yeah. He said, did you want to roll right or roll left? And he says, I'd rather roll left. And you can climb the pocket, which wasn't something he did either. You know what I mean? But regardless, why was he running to the left? Because that's the best chance of survival is behind the silverback gorilla. That's the pissed off silverback gorilla. When you've got one of those on your team and you feel like there's uncertainty in this world, you need to get behind the silverback gorilla and let him make the moves for you until you can figure out how to take care of what you need to. And that's why he's got this ability to be able to just go, oh yeah, hey, I want some more money. I want to be highest paid. And I noticed, this is crazy, I don't have any more guaranteed money. I ain't got no more guaranteed money left on my shit. You know what I mean? So if you would kindly do a little bit of this, you know what I'm saying? I will show up to training camp, but I need to see some of that.
28 million, 10,000. You're first.
10,000.
A penny more than Panay. That's all he really wants. Under the helmet pod is in the house. How's Tig looking in your guys' eyes? He's been good. I think if he can avoid the sort of sophomore slump and just keep doing what he did in 2023, or maybe make a modest improvement, I think we'll be in really good shape. That's Jair Brown, for those who don't know the nickname.
It throws me off. Because I heard Kyle referred to him as that the other day, and I was like, hey, what the fuck is that? And then I had to go back and re-listen to it and realize, they're talking about Jair Brown. Yeah, and then even when you had that up there, I was like, Tig, what the fuck? Man, I'm thinking like I am off my game. Where's this Tig player that we got? And then once you said Jair Brown, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's the fucking
And he's watching the Olympics right now too.
Oh, good. Olympics are the shit. You know what I noticed? Back in the day, the decathlon was kind of like the big thing. So like whoever was doing
Bruce Jenner,
who everybody was doing good in the decathlon was kind of like, that was the clout. I'm the all around Olympian, because that's what a decathlon is, right? You got to do all this type of stuff, which I'm like, why don't we care about that now? You know what I mean? Everybody's got this one individual event they want to be the best at. They don't want to take losses here and win over here. They just want to go for gold all the time in one thing. It's kind of like, doctors. Nobody wants to be a family doctor. They all want to specialize in something because money's more in that specialized thing.
More money.
Yeah. That's, and it's like, where did the decathlon,
also more school too, to get that extra money. But yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Specializing in certain events, I appreciate. Like the Michael Phelps, well, he didn't specialize in one event. That man did anything swimming except for diving, right?
Like 22 golds or something crazy.
I think he would have been probably great on the polo team. I'm just saying.
I'm sure.
But yeah, that guy's a dolphin. But no, like even look at Simone Biles. She's just all around knockout when it comes to gymnastics. Holy smokes. She sat out a thing. Everybody was mad at her when she sat out one. It was like, look, think about it. Somebody else got a chance. Because they didn't have one when she was about to go. So you know what? You should thank her for just making somebody else's day. They made everybody on that thing felt, oh, holy shit. one of us has the chance. Like it was like a new day for them. Somebody had a chance when she decided to take the day off, and they got all mad at her. Then just let her do her thing. She's good enough. She got all the golds. She could do whatever the fuck she wants. I don't care.
There you go. Everybody's arguing in the chat about whether it's okay to ask for more or not okay. I like Portola's just because he said everyone should get the bag. None of these corporations care about us workers. But, some of these guys with their contracts make more than corporations. I mean, not the big corporations, but some smaller corporations. Anyway, it's just kind of interesting to see everybody. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, even if it's wrong. So that's fine.
Which, for clarification, anybody that holds an opinion that differs from mine, it's wrong.
That's right.
No, I'm joking.
Did
you know what the Romans, they called people barbarians? You know what the definition of a barbarian was?
They're mostly people from Germany, weren't they?
Anybody who wasn't Roman.
Oh, there you go.
You could be just as smart as them, and just because you lived on their border and you didn't fucking believe in all their hoopla and, call yourself a Roman, you were a barbarian. You could be just as smart, just as educated, have all the same shit. You could have all the same shit, and you're still a barbarian. That's who the barbarians were. Anybody who wasn't Roman. So
there you go.
That's kind of where that any other opinion that differs from mine is wrong.
I thought they only came from the east, not from the west. But hey, what do I know?
That's as far as I know. It's all the barbarians are just everybody who aren't Romans. Like
at some point Rome took over everything to the west. So
and then they weren't barbarians. They were the people of a certain land, weren't they? At that point, once the Romans conquered them, they were actually somebody. But until then, they were just barbarians and Gallic tribes, and they're just All
right. Swole Cole says for sure Trent deserves it. 49ers need to pay him. Yeah, I mean that's sort of how I
rocking hard place, bro.
But hey, the different folks have different opinions, and I like to hear. This is an open forum for that. Yeah, toxic place. I jumped ship. Brian is right. I am too damn nice. You are too damn nice. That's for sure.
Yep.
And Twitter is toxic. That's for sure.
Yep.
Same with Ayuk. Ayuk deserves to be paid for sure, but I think the Niners were pretty close to the number when they offered him 26. I'm not down with 30 or 35. Oh, well, I guess CeeDee Lamb just got 32, right? So that's some news since we streamed last.
Oh, I actually didn't see that.
Yeah, he got 4 years, 136 or 138.
So that helps the Niners. That helps out the Niners a lot.
Because 35.
Well, or 34.
Yeah, 34. Yeah,
34. Like that's because when I broke down the numbers, it was like if you gave Brandon
not even quite 32. I want to say it was like 4 years.
If you gave Brandon Ayuk the touches, he would have the same touches that CeeDee Lamb got. It would be crazy. It would be crazy.
Yeah, if you could. But all right, so 4 year 136. So actually, shoot, you know what that is? That's 34 million a year. That's exactly what it is.
See, that doesn't help us.
4 136 is because it's
that doesn't help us because I can
35.
I can use numbers to show that Brandon Ayuk is better than CeeDee Lamb.
Wow.
Huh?
Inefficiency, yes. But
I can use tape.
But CeeDee Lamb's the only guy there in Dallas.
Between tape and numbers.
CeeDee Lamb doesn't have CMC. And
doesn't matter. That doesn't mean shit. That has nothing. There's nowhere in the contract does it go, oh, if you have this person or this caliber of player on the team or this caliber on the team, that player cannot ask for so much money that player has to give that team a this, and there's nothing in there. It's you want me? This is the price.
CeeDee Lamb is a bona fide wide receiver one. So is Amon-Ra. So is Justin Jefferson.
He's not a bona fide wide receiver one. I don't think CeeDee is bona fide. I think CeeDee, for the targets he has to have, he is being pushed into that number one role. I think he is probably better as a second receiver because then he doesn't have to work so hard to get as many yards because they're going to be looking at somebody else. And his yards per catch are down. There's lots. Like Amon St. I can put a case that Amon St. Brown is better than CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Ayuk.
I'd say Amon-Ra is better than Brandon Ayuk for sure. Not better, but at least he's a proven wide receiver one. Once again, that's really what it just comes down to.
And like you can't say that, oh, Brandon Ayuk is the second wide receiver on the team, so he's only getting chumps and far as coverage. That's not the case. Brandon Ayuk is getting the number one cornerback, and if any team isn't, or
then then Debo's getting doubled. So I mean,
Debo's not getting doubled. They don't double Debo. Debo can't get away from his shadow. Debo is that's why we said
they're doubling CMC.
Debo is a luxury. Yeah, the double CMC, but they can't even really do that.
Doubling Kittle, and you can only double so many guys, right?
Yeah,
you run out of guys.
That's you can't double anybody. You can't.
We got Alien Jazz Party in the house.
That's Daryl. What up, Daryl? Daryl, he's all the way from the UK.
So if Kyle ever leaves, do you think Lynch would stay?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he would if he could. I just, Lynch was hired basically by Kyle once Jed hired Kyle. So if Kyle or if Jed were to hire somebody new who was in charge, like as a coach GM, then they might not want Lynch. But yeah, I mean, I think it'd be hard to get rid of him because he has all the knowledge from so many years. I think Lynch would stay. Yeah,
not the knowledge. I think when he wakes up in the morning, he embodies the 49er way, right? The fish rots from the head down. So if the fish ain't rotten from the head, everything else going down is going to be great parts. Now, what I'm saying is, like, he tries to do everything as honorably and as honest as he can, which gives great rapport with people who are no nonsense dudes who know how to bring a lunch pail. They just want to be given it to them straight. It's how real men do it. Like, I don't want to waste time bullshitting. Tell me what it was. Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's figure out what's actually going on. Let's get all the bullshit out of the way. Let's add everything up and then figure out where we stand. And that's how he conducts business. The other thing is he used to be a player, and a great one at that. So he's got this bond with the players because they know his legend. They know he has a gold jacket. They aspire to have a gold jacket. Anybody that we draft aspires to have a golden jacket, and they work hard every day towards that. And if they don't, they're not going to last long on this team, because our team is full of a whole bunch of unselfish players who are very talented. You don't see them asking about, I don't need the ball more. I need the ball more. Give me the ball. You know, Brandon Ayuk said something. I'm not messing with that as contracts. Anyway, you don't see that out in the media and griping about touches and stuff like that, because they're a team, and the 49ers have gone out and found people who are willing to be a part of something greater than just their own image of themselves. And I think it starts with John Lynch.
There you go. Yeah.
What? Women's gymnastics gold medal? Motherfucker. Go lady. Go lady. The men's got a bronze. Men's got a bronze. Ladies got a gold. I'm telling you, I would put our women up against any country's women any day. Oh, Ted. Is Ted gone or am I gone? Oh, is it Ted? Let me know in the chat. Who is gone? Is it me or is it Ted? Oh, it's me. Ted froze. USA World dominance and the flippity flips and the spinning. Bro, male gymnasts, I'm sorry, I used to be a wrestler. Male gymnasts are probably the only athlete out there who are probably more on the highest level, are more trained, more as more trained than a wrestler. Wrestlers, they do a lot of stuff, but oh my god, the rings. I don't understand how anybody really does those rings. I can't. My arms would fall off. But yeah, some of the things, and what I found too is because of YouTube, like the stuff that the guys do and the girls do, they're so different in some respects that the guys are trying something for the first time and they fail horribly. Same thing with the women. They can't try some of this right off the bat. You have to really try at it. So you could be a high class gymnast at one, as a lady gymnast, and try one of these male things because you've never tried it before. And even though you're high class, fall on your face. And so those things that they do, the techniques, I don't know what you call them, the disciplines that they do takes a long time to train and a lot of strength. Hey Ted, when are you doing the rings?
When am I doing the rings?
Yeah, you go do the rings. Post that on YouTube. You do your ring performance.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
There was one guy. I remember there was one guy from one country. Judges said something. They were like gonna fuck with him or something, and he essentially did this like pose that was like really hard to do, and he held it for hella long, and they were like, "Stop it!" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing this longer because fuck you."
Oh, the rings in gymnastics. Yeah,
I'm
way too heavy for that.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, you got to be very strong upper body and like pencil tiny legs.
I'm gonna stick with curling.
There you go. That sounds about more my speed.
Right.
We have not seen the link, so I'm not sure how we get it to play in the chat. Women's team gymnastics gold medal, go baby. There you go. Shout out to
let's get it.
Simone Biles heading up that team. She's amazing.
The rest of the ladies.
Yeah.
Team sport.
He can't even play in cold weather. Who's that? That's Tua. He's talking about quarterback contracts.
Oh, these quarterback. Holy Jesus. Jordan Love just reset. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Holy Jesus. What are you? Gutekunst is like smoking some crack rock. I'm just saying. It's bad, bro. How do you do that? Uh-oh. Think we lost Ted again. Rob D. only 30 million a year. You two can feed a wide receiver.
Something's up with my internet. Sorry about that.
You're good.
My phone hotspot.
Oh, bring up Rob D's. Oh, Rob D. I'm holding in, listening, but I will not burn to participate. Good stuff, Rob. Hey, I that's a great way to get your point across with sarcasm and humor. I'm just letting you know, in times where it could be kind of, blood throaty and cutthroaty or at your throat for certain opinions, I think sarcasm and humor is a good way to at least broach the topic with people.
People thought I was thinking when I froze.
Yes, the male cheerleaders are also very strong. I used to have to wrestle 215-pound guys, and my practice partner was 280-pound dude. And still, I couldn't throw like 115-pound person up in the air like that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I bet you I could have with training, but I would have had to train. You know what I mean? I don't think I would have been there at day one, even if I had the technique. I would have had to train for it. So, like, and wrestlers, not that I was the strongest person, but wrestlers on a whole are a little more stronger than your average person. So while we still have you, is there anything else? Or maybe we should probably close up shop a little earlier.
Swell Colas, what's Ted's thoughts on Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald?
Oh,
do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go. So there is a lot of buzz, not only in the fandom, but also with the players kind of with him. So watch out. Their defense might be a tough one this year. The reason I say that is because defense is defense, right? Offenses, they have different schemes that they want to do. They kind of use the same plays, but they use plays differently to open certain things up, right? And sometimes the plays aren't the same. So the defense can come along quicker in this respect, and it seems like everybody's buying in. That might be something to watch out. And like I said, there is a lot of excitement for somebody who just lost, for a team that just lost their Super Bowl winning head coach of the last 20 years. There is no like, oh, I don't know what this is going to be like. Everybody is bought in. So, and Cole, I'm from up here. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I'm like an hour north of Seattle right now. So I kind of got my fingers at the pulse. Oh, there you
go. Yeah, Ryan does a weekly show with Joe Stevens, who's a big Seahawks guy. I know when I talked to Candace Hagan, she was very bullish on Mike McDonald. He did a great job with the Ravens defense. It can be tough being a defensive head coach in the National Football League because you still got to find someone to call the offense for you. And that's clearly the more important side of the ball. But I think that the Seahawks defense will be better. I mean, better than it would have been. I'll say that. But I think it would have been pretty bad without linebackers. So I don't know that they saw linebacker, but maybe, next year in 2025, their defense could be really good. I don't think it'll be that great this year, but I think the Seahawks will start to improve. I think Pete Carroll was definitely holding them back some. He's just a little too old school and a little bit archaic, not quite up with the times. Also, I posted up Red Jet Shell's YouTube channel there in the chat since she couldn't do it. She sent it to me via IG. So we got IG to StreamYard and get you guys to her YouTube.
Make sure you go check her stuff out.
Indeed. Cool stuff for sure.
Yeah, she spent a lot of time. Editing stuff is a pain in the ass. And yeah, so shout out to her. I made a 7-minute video. It took me 4 days of all my extra time. 2 of them were my weekend. So it was all my days.
Just checking Raj's tweets. He said Brock Purdy dominated drills today with multiple big-time TD dimes. That's good because he had 3 interceptions yesterday. Ricky Pearsall came up with an impressive catch over the middle, showcasing good ability to adjust to the pass during team drills. Fred Warner with an int after jumping on a pass over the middle from Purdy to Conley. So another interception for Purdy to go with the 3 TD dimes or the multiple TD dimes. That could be just 2.
So I want to talk about something. I seen people were mad at Grant Cohn because he said that Brock threw 3 interceptions, and other people are complaining about kind of are we going to do this again? I don't care about people reporting interceptions. That's something to worry about. I think what Grant said that
One of them wasn't his fault.
well, I mean, what was it? I didn't think I was watching the one from the day before, and he pretty much said, or no, he incomplete passes downfield, right? Which is, hey, let's try this. Interceptions are those same incomplete passes downfield. Okay, it's trying stuff out, roll with the punches. I think what people should have been upset about is him complaining about the run game when we didn't have pads on. Because we all know that the run game isn't going to be the same without the offensive line having pads and the defensive line having pads for the offense to hold on to, or not hold on to, but to grip to. So
also without Trent Williams in there,
right? But even without Trent Williams, you should be able to do something going to the right side, right? There, you should at least have some push on the right side. So, I think let people cook, man. If you don't like people, that's cool. If you don't like how they report, that's fine. Don't look at it.
There you go.
I think people could have been making a better argument at other things, and they're just losing their shit over this. And I was like, all right, okay.
Well, Demerol Lenore makes a fantastic PBU on Brock Purdy pass to the left side to Kyle Juszczyk. Go Hyena. Elijah Mitchell is getting a ton of work today and catching with multiple solid plays on the day, showcasing great effort overall. George,
what does that mean? What does that mean? I mean, gotten a lot of targets, showcasing great effort. Great effort. What does that mean?
Hey, anytime Elijah Mitchell doesn't get injured, I'm happy. So, George Odom, go ahead.
We know he's not a good pass receiver. So if he's getting all these reps, it's important to know, well, are they in the passing game? Is he coming down with the ball? I don't care if he's diving for the ball if it's incomplete. You know what I mean? Or maybe he's diving for the ball and he didn't need to dive for the ball because he bobbled it. What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, I kind of need a little bit more in that, because that said nothing to me. Who are you reading that by? Was that a David Lombardi?
No, Raj.
Oh,
RSF 49ers.
Raj, give me more context.
He said George Odom snags an int off Brock Purdy off a pass that jumped out of Juwan Jennings' hands. So, again, interception for Purdy, but not his fault, just like one of the three yesterday. So that's one of the two today.
Which,
like you said, Ryan, it's important to note that if you are going to throw incomplete interceptions, camp's the time to do it.
Right.
When there's zero consequences.
You need to test out your windows.
But then
get comfortable throwing in those windows for the regular season.
Demerol Lenore snags a pick 6 on Brock Purdy. So that's now we're up to 3 again today. So that's probably not 1 out of 3 his fault. Or 2 out of the 3 were his fault. Tariq Owens reels in a deep pass down the left sideline from Brandon Allen for a TD. I'll tell you, Brandon Allen actually looked good last Thursday when I was out there. I was kind of surprised because I thought he was garbage last year in camp, but maybe year 2 in the system is benefiting him.
Dude, it seems like I think it has to do with the install. And a lot of these guys, they aren't like 3-year men. So when they're installing this stuff, I think some of the stuff they're good at and other ones aren't, because Josh Dobbs was horrible the other day. And then supposedly Josh Dobbs was great and Brandon Allen sucked. And it just, to me, either these guys are having some real up and down days, or it's stuff that's going on in the install. That's what I'm starting to get now, because every training camp that I've been following now, there's always like reports of one day someone does great and the next day someone does shitty, and then the next day someone does great and the next day someone does shitty. I think it's just the installs, that they're installing stuff that people either are or aren't comfortable with or knowledgeable with, and that's just hard days of them learning on the fly or relearning. You know what I mean? Maybe you've never been good at this, and it's every year, like when you do, I don't know, bootlegs, it's just, you're going to have your growing pains because maybe there's something about doing bootlegs. Those are the type of things you need to know to go and train in the off season and make it better for training camp. So we'll see.
We'll see.
I bet you week 1 rolls around and Brock Purdy doesn't throw 3 interceptions in the first game. I bet you money.
Right. I think you're right. Especially if Ayuk's there.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like he's your neighbor up there, Ryan. PNW.
Yeah. I think I remember talking about this.
And then I hope we can have another Niners NFC Championship showdown. Yeah, we need some revenge.
Just not in Seattle. I don't want to play that game.
No.
Here.
I'm with you there. You there. Here.
Nope.
Here. Levi's only.
Yes.
We're undefeated in the playoffs. We'll keep it that way. Yes. All right. Well, look, I know you're running out of time. I may have to go pick up my son too early from camp because he had a dentist appointment scheduled for this afternoon. And unless we were able to change it, then I need to get rolling fairly soon to go pick him up too. But thanks as always, Ryan. It's a pleasure chopping it up with you. Hopefully by next week, I'll have at least one more training camp under my belt by then. And we'll go from there. And thanks for everybody who stopped by. We had great participation today from the audience. We appreciate every single one of you.
Keep an eye on the offensive line when you go to camp.
What you got going on the rest of the week?
I probably got a show with Joe. Not sure. We'll see. We had a show on Wednesday last week. It was crazy. But we'll see how that goes again. Just stay tuned.
There you go. I got McNiner tomorrow at 3:30. And I'll just say peace and go Niners.
Peace.